Hey, it's Sela Social Studies.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Sela Social Studies. So last time we discussed map essentials and part of geography, and today we're going to study more of the geography aspect. We're going to cover more of the 5 themes of geography. So what is geography? Geography is a study of the earth and the way that people live on it and use it. It explains the big picture of why we are here and what we are doing while we are here. If we were to define the discipline, a geographer is going to answer 3 defining questions. What is located where? Why are things located where they are? And what is the significance of it? So, what is the study of geography? Why is it important? It is important because physical geographic features tell us how the United States and any other country in that matter, how they were settled. It tells us what is located where and why is it important about it being there. We can learn a lot from our land. So we're going to go over the 5 themes of geography. And the 5 themes of geography that will help a geographer answer all their questions. These are location, place, human environmental interaction, movement, and regions. And we're going to break them down one by one, but I want you to remember these in a certain way. I want you to remember these by saying Mr. Help, 5 themes, MRHELP. Okay, so you have M, movement, R, region, Mr. Help, HE, right? You have human environmental interaction. L is location, P is place. Mr. Help, movement, region, human environmental interaction, location, and place. All right. So theme 1 is location. And when somebody thinks of location, there are 2 questions that should be asked. Where is it and why is it there? Location is a place or a spot on planet Earth, and under the location theme, there are 2 different types of location. You have absolute location and relative location. Absolute location will tell someone a specific place on the Earth's surface that uses a grid system of lines of longitude and latitude. An absolute location will use a global address, and this is the address used by Google Maps. So Four Oaks is located at 35.4449 degrees north latitude and 78.4269 degrees west longitude. Relative location is how one describes where a place is in relation to another place. This type of location uses directional words and points on a compass to describe where something is. An example of relative location is Walmart is located on Smith Street across from the cemetery. You're not giving an exact location via longitude and latitude. You're telling somebody where it is in reference to something else. So theme 2, place. When we think about a place, we need to ask what it's like there and what kind of place it is. When discussing place, there are 2 different types of characteristics: human characteristics and physical characteristics. Human characteristics are characteristics that describe a place's culture. The culture of a place involves what are the main languages, the customs, the beliefs that are specific to that place only and are not generic to other places. It's that place only. People's activities change the way a place looks or is represented. This includes things that are man-made or invented, or language, unique buildings, religious practices, celebrations, traditions, and or holidays. So some examples of these are Portuguese is the official language of Brazil. Many people from Mexico are Catholic. Mayan ruins are located in Mexico, and Independence Day is a celebration in the United States. So it also describes how many people live, work, and visit a place. Physical characteristics are characteristics that describe the physical attributes of a place, like the physical map you just learned about. Physical features of a place include landforms like mountains, rivers, and climate, vegetation, wildlife, soil, and much more. The third thing we're going to go over is human environmental interaction. Human environmental interaction, or shortened to HEI, is how people interact with their environment and basically describes how humans have started to destroy the earth with the very first interaction. Human interaction with the environment is done in three different ways. They adapt to their environment, they modify their environment, and they depend on their environment. Humans use, change, and live with the environment by living with the climate, draining swamps, digging irrigation ditches, and cutting down forests of deforestation. These human interactions cause some serious problems for our environment, like pollution, disappearance of habitats, and deforestation. How do humans and the environment affect each other? Well, number one, we depend on it. People will grow crops on the land, and others will use like the Mississippi River for water and transportation. Number two, we modify it. People modify our environment by heating and cooling buildings for comfort. People will also modify the environment by cutting down forests to build cities or build dams to control water flow. And number three, we adapt to it. We adapt to the environment by wearing suitable clothing for summer, like shorts and bathing suits, and the winter, like coats or rain and shine. The fourth theme is movement. Movement describes how things are moved. There are three significant classifications of movement: the movement of people, goods, and ideas. So how are people, goods, and ideas moved from place to place? Well, human movement has been around since the beginning of time. People have migrated from place to place by using their feet or on the backs of different types of animals. And at this point, movement and migration went hand in hand. However, thanks to technology, humans now move with the assistance of trucks and planes and trains and cars. Information also moves. And how does information move? Information has moved many different ways. It has moved by couriers, letters, and even fire signals. However, today, information moves much quicker and easier. The technological information has made movement faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. Remember that, because you'll see those three again: faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. Today, information moves by phones, computers, with email, and social media. That's the biggest one right now. Ideas also move, and ideas move from person to person, but not how you would think. This is how fads move. If someone is on social media following their influencer, and this influencer creates a fad by wearing socks on her head like a bandana, and then 10 million people start doing this, an idea just moved and a fad is born. These ideas are moved through TV, radio, magazines, and social media. The last theme we're going to talk about is region, and regions are places that are similar. And a lot of regions share many characteristics. That's what makes up the regions. They have many similar characteristics, and they are usually more than one of them. There are three different types of regions: formal, functional, and perceptual. Formal regions are the most common or familiar that we know. They have related characteristics regarding to continent and culture. They are determined by the distribution of a uniform characteristic, which is either physical or cultural, like location, climate, and religion. Some examples are Central America, which is Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Panama; Latin America being Spanish-speaking nations; the tropics are countries located near the equator. Functional regions are regions that serve a purpose or a function that affects the people and places around it. The purposes of these regions are that they will assist the distribution of goods and or people. Some of these regions include the set of connections in Greater Washington, D.C. area, the Panama Canal, and Hollywood. Right? Hollywood is a region because what do they do there in Hollywood? They create movies, film, things like that. The Panama Canal is a functional region because it has a purpose. It moves boats through the Canal of Panama. The last region is a perceptual region. This region is based on perception, or how a person would typically view the people of that region. The idea is that the people see characteristics the same way that provoke a certain stereotype or feeling. Some examples of the perceptual regions are like the Midwest, like the cowboys. When I say tell me what a cowboy looks like in Texas. You're going to tell me that they wear a cowboy hat and boots and jeans. Or like the Bronx in New York, the people are always rude there. Or the ghetto that's full of poverty and it's gross. And Chinatown, like everything there, everybody there is Chinese and everything is cheap. Those are perceptions. Those are stereotypes. So you have perceptual regions. These may all not be true, but they are the stereotypes that have been put in place that makes people perceive that about that region. So good luck on your checkpoint for maps, geography, and the 5 themes of geography. And next we're going to get into people coming over to North America.